What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to the Savvy Show. And in today's episode, I'm really excited because we're going to be going in depth in another explained video. And I feel like this is going to be a juicy one because this is going to be about KClass end of the world scenarios. Yo, we've seen a lot of hype with some SCPs that have this potential to be end of the world scenarios. However, we haven't gotten in depth about what that actually is. You know, on surface level, it seems pretty self-explanatory, but we might find a few things that, might surprise us. And I can't wait to dive deep and see if that's the case. So with that all out the way, if you guys enjoy my reactions, you guys want to see more, and if you end up liking this reaction, smash that like button, and also smash the sub button if you're not already part of the family. I make reactions like this daily for you guys, so you always get your dose SCP heat. And if you like my reaction style, you like SCP content, you're home. You made it home. Hop in, join the train. All gas, no brakes, full throttle. We don't slow down for nothing. Have a blast with the fam. Don't go around the internet alone. You have a family now, so hop in and have a blast with us. And also remember, turn on post notifications so you do not miss an upload. Yo, YouTube doesn't always let you guys know when I post, so it behooves you, if you want to catch each drop when it's posted, hit that bell. So with that all out of the way, also like always, shout out to SCP Explained Story and Animations for bringing this animation for me to react to today for you guys. So with that all out the way, hope you guys, enjoy this reaction. And without any further ado, let's get this show started. Alrighty, SCP KClass End of the World Scenarios Explained. Let's get started.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and you're feeling less than fine. That's because some of the SCP Foundation's greatest fears have been realized, and we're in the middle of an KClass End of the World scenario. But what exactly is an KClass specifically? How does it fit in among the other KClass scenarios that the Foundation stays ever vigilant for? What are some of the ways the world can end as a result of anomalous activity? And if one of these events does unfold, what can be done to stop it? Well, grab your water filters and head down to the nearest Foundation-approved apocalypse bunker. Not that it'll save you, because we're talking KClass End of the World scenarios. Sadly for us, there's actually a huge number of ways that the life and reality we consider normal can suddenly disappear. These are known to the Foundation as KClass Scenarios, a description given to any event that will severely alter reality or normality on a global scale.
Or any broken SCP that you come across. You could just say that.
There are too many of these to list right now, but the most prominent threats are SK, NK, CK, ZK, and, of course, XK scenarios.
Wow, there's other
An
ones?
SK scenario is when another species or civilization surpasses or replaces humanity, such as the threat that the Foundation believes SCP-1000 poses. While an NK or Grey Goo scenario posits that the world may be overrun by out-of-control self-replicating nanomachines, covering everything in Grey Goo. CK-class restructuring scenarios refer to a situation in which some kind of reality-warping anomaly irreparably alters or restructures reality as we know it. By contrast, a ZK-class end-of-reality scenario involves an anomaly of physics causing reality in general to just cease. But the most feared of all, and the most abundant in its potential causes, is the KClass End of the World scenario. This is quite literally the apocalypse, Armageddon, Judgment Day, End Times.
Makes sense.
Lights out. There are well in excess.
So that's basically, I'm assuming when day breaks, that SCP, that'll fall under the class of KClass End of the World scenario. Pretty sure. That one should, yeah.
Of 60 anomalies capable of triggering an KClass scenario, and sadly far fewer that can reverse them. T.S. Eliot wrote, "This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper." As anyone at the SCP Foundation could tell you, there are plenty more ways the world can end than that.
This dude's in so many episodes, bro. Can we get a name for this guy already? Yo, oh my goodness.
Here are some of the most strange, terrifying, or downright interesting examples of anomalous apocalypses, starting with the more ridiculous end of the apocalyptic scale. SCP-871 is a series of over 200 cakes, varying in size and variety of cake. If any of these cakes are eaten, they'll be replaced by a magically appearing cake within 24 hours. However, if the cakes are not eaten, they'll still produce a replacement. If the cakes are damaged but not eaten, a replacement will appear instantaneously.
Wow.
In other words,
so
if the replication is not properly inhibited by the SCP Foundation, there's a considerable risk of the world being overrun with impossible quantities of cake. It
Bro,
may
give me another
sound silly.
example.
Foundation scientists have estimated that an uncontrolled outbreak of SCP-871 would render the world completely uninhabitable in a mere 80 days. The Foundation tracks a number of frightening SCPs capable of quickly getting out of control, such as the 100% infectious and deadly prion, SCP-008, and SCP-610, aka the flesh that hates. But none seem to present the same genuine threat to human life as an epidemic of global cake duplication. Another bizarre anomaly capable of causing an abrupt apocalypse is SCP-5092. This anomaly is a strange phenomenon that exclusively affects every sitting U.S. president. At 7:53 p.m. every single night, the president's nose will begin to itch. When this happens, naturally, the president will itch his nose. This may seem like an extremely innocent pattern of behavior, but the true danger occurs when the president affected by 5092 doesn't act on this sudden and irritating itch. If the president doesn't itch, it will cause SCP-5092-1 to spontaneously manifest.
What?
5092-1 is a massive asteroid, over 20 kilometers in diameter, that manifests above the North Pole and begins hurtling towards Earth at incredible speeds.
You cannot make this shit up. There is no correlation with the asteroid and the president itching his nose. Yo, the imagination that people have is really awesome.
If the president fails to scratch his nose by 8:53 p.m. every single night, this asteroid will collide with Earth and invariably cause an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario.
Bro, that's
the Foundation
crazy.
is required to keep a constant watch on the current sitting U.S. president for this exact reason. SCP-2950 is in a similar situation. It's not necessarily always a potential XK-class waiting to happen, but under the right circumstances, it absolutely can be. According to the surface-level files, 2950 is an anomalous folding metal chair. When sat on for over an hour, it becomes impossible to convince the sitter to leave the chair without using force. However, as a file only accessible by a single
Does he not want to leave, though?
Reveals,
Wait, hold on.
2950 is actually an anomaly that takes 950 is an anomalous folding metal chair. When sat on for over an hour, it becomes impossible to convince the sitter to leave the chair without using force.
Impossible, so he's just choosing not to leave. Or you really think he can't get up, like he's stuck.
However, as a file only accessible by a single member of the O5 Council reveals, 2950 is actually an anomaly that takes the form of whatever the majority of people aware of it think it is. The misinformation about it actually being a chair has been spread this whole time just to reduce its potential threat.
Wow, that's
An ancient
interesting.
tome from the Sacred Library of the Serpent's Hand, though, depicts 2950 as an all-powerful and incredibly deadly XK-class scenario threat.
It could be literally anything.
If this book ever fell into the wrong hands and its information was shared, it would become a self-fulfilling prophecy and likely result in the exact kind of XK-class apocalypse we fear. SCP-2935, also known as O-Death, is a limestone cavern in Indiana leading to an alternate world that already experienced an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. A complete and total extinction event so powerful it even led to the deaths of thought-to-be immortal figures like SCP-682 and Dr. Bright.
Whoa! Y'all can't be dropping bombs like that. It killed the indestructible creature? Yo! Let me hear this one more time.
Is a limestone cavern in Indiana leading to an alternate world that already experienced an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario.
Okay.
A complete and total extinction event so powerful it even led to the deaths of thought-to-be immortal figures like SCP-682 and Dr. Bright.
So in that reality, in that world of O-Death, not in the one that we're in, but either way, it's still a version of that SCP dying. And Dr. Bright too? Yo, that's wild.
While the cavern is thankfully now sealed off, it's believed that the force of pure death lurking on the other side is more than capable of causing the same mass extinction event in our reality if it ever gained passage here. Another anomaly very likely to cause an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario is a creature known as the Devourer of Worlds.
Honestly, before we died, I'm thinking I always thought the indestructible creature could survive a global threat like that wipes out humanity. I figure like he would be like a cockroach. How did he die? Like, yo, if anyone knows that, please let me know in the comment section below. Or if this is just part of, you know, the animation is not actually canon, then it's whatever. But if it is, please let me know, because I'm really confused.
If it ever gained passage here. Another anomaly very likely to cause an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario is a creature known as the Devourer of Worlds.
We've seen him a lot.
Which lives in a desert-like pocket dimension beyond SCP-2317.
Pocket
the beast
dimension?
is currently bound. Foundation scientists anticipate it breaking from its bonds and moving into our dimension, at which point it is likely to live up to its name and eat all of us. Perhaps the most feared entity in all of SCP Foundation lore, the Scarlet King is an ultra-powerful, godlike being created by the tension between organized modernity and the primal violence of the past. The Scarlet King makes repeated attempts to enter our reality, and his various devoted cults do what they can to help him make the jump. It's believed that if he ever did find his way into our dimension, the end of the world is an extremely likely outcome, given his seething hatred for all modern societies.
And also, I remember when we were covering the Hanging Man, like the Hanging King or whatever, yo, you guys were saying he's more powerful than the Scarlet King. I know if you guys told me in the comment section below, what are some of you guys' reasons for that? Because it seems like there's still a lot to be fulfilled with, you know, the Scarlet King, because he's not even, we haven't even seen him. It's just what could be. But we got more information of the Hangman, but you guys are still saying it's on top of the Scarlet King. I would love to know some of you guys' reasons for that in the comment section below. If you do believe that the Hangman is stronger than the Scarlet King. For me, I'm not too sure what side I'll lean on. I also lean on the Scarlet King because I don't know too much about him yet, and I feel like if he does come in the world, it'd be kind of crazy to see that, yo, someone could be stronger than that. But there's crazy SCPs out there, and I'm sure it'll be possible.
Some anomalies don't seem to cause XK-class end-of-the-world events, but they are predicted to potentially cause them to happen sometime in the future.
Okay.
One such example is SCP-3769, a seemingly normal scientific calculator that binds itself to the body of whatever touches it. It then, depending on the number input into the calculator, regresses the biology of the user into some prior stage of evolution.
What?
But when the calculator was tested on SCP-411, a 400-year-old man who ages in reverse, it broke and began performing the exact opposite function to what was intended. It started evolving the subjects it touched into future stages of evolution.
Whoa.
While this worked successfully on all animals tested, from octopi to macaws.
Wait. Whoa. So there's only one SCP of that scientific calculator. They already attached it to, I'm assuming that was a D class. How did they end up taking the calculator away from that D class and give it to that SCP that ages in reverse? Wouldn't it be attached to that D class forever? Or when he dies, are you able to take it off of him? I need to know the answer to that.
It killed every human it was tested on, even when the evolution feature was cranked down to its smallest setting of a single generation.
Damn.
Humans, it seems, are at the end of the road in terms of our evolutionary journey. Foundation scientists have posited that this could foretell an XK-class human extinction event within our lifetimes, though we don't know what form it will take. Another SCP that seems to function as a grim omen is SCP-152. This is a large hardcover book that features startlingly detailed descriptions of events in the past, present, and future.
Damn.
The one common denominator is that the small differences, often about the actions of the Foundation, lead to calamitous XK-class end-of-the-world scenarios in the book. The Foundation has found this incredibly pessimistic work of literature valuable as an instruction guide in avoiding the coming disasters that it predicts. But it's possible that it may somehow predict an incoming XK that we can't wriggle out of. Another grim harbinger of a potential dark future is SCP-1678, also known as Unlondon.
Haven't covered that one yet.
This sprawling dystopian city beneath modern-day London suggests an XK-class extinction scenario above ground, caused by rampaging anomalies getting loose from Foundation containment.
What?
The museum in the doomed underground city displays a number of dangerous Kittier-class anomalies.
They're all top-tier SCPs.
For all we know, these horrifying events may someday come to pass for us. At this point, it's understandable if you're feeling a little paranoid. with all these possible KClass scenarios looming
Bro.
over us, from being smothered by cake to doom foretold by a calculator.
But honestly, yo, like, I know these are all deadly and everything, but to be honest, after reacting to SCP-2000, the DX Machina, like, all this is like, okay, well, this one person just needs to survive, and then we could just reset humanity. Like, it kind of beats the purpose and, like, the hype of all of these other SCPs that are, like, top-tier end-of-the-world scenarios. Like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because SCP-2000 is a thing, you know? Like, I don't know, it just takes the hype away from it.
It's easy to let a sense of hopeless roll over you, and these aren't even all of the anomalies capable of doing this. But never fear. There are 3 anomalies out there that have the capability to reverse even some of the most dire XK situations.
What I just said.
The one hope is that they can be reached in time. One of the more practical methods is activating SCP-2000.
I'm so on this, yo!
Huge facility hidden beneath Yellowstone National
Oh my god, what are the 3 other ones though?
Anomalous technologies. 2000 is capable of making exact copies of everyone who existed on Earth in the last 20 years.
Literally, what's the 2 other ones
The facility
though?
also stores all human knowledge, allowing things to pick up right after they left off. This new race of humans is then able to rebuild society from the ground up, at which point the Foundation will re-emerge and erase everyone's memories of the KClass end-of-the-world scenario that started it all. SCP-2000 isn't effective in all situations, though. What if, for example, the XK scenario destroyed the conditions for supporting human life on Earth? Or what if SCP-2000 itself is destroyed during the process of the KClass scenario? Thankfully, when it seems like all other hopes have failed, there are 2 remaining anomalies that can function as a sort of total reset button if brought together, no matter the severity of the apocalypse.
Get into it.
These are SCP-055, the unknowable anti-meme, and SCP-579, another mysterious anomaly known only by its extensive containment procedures. The combination of the anomalous effects of 055 and 579 as laid out in Rajet's proposal and the article for SCP-2998 is the Foundation's ultimate secret weapon for preventing an KClass end-of-the-world scenario.
What the heck?
If the 2 are united during said scenario, the universe resets to a time before the KClass started and prevents it from happening. That's why if the world is ending around you, there's no better hope of canceling the apocalypse than bringing 055 and 579 together.
Wow.
So there you have it. Everything you need to know to have a basic knowledge about the end of all life on Earth. Preventing an KClass
I'm definitely going to get into those
scenario is like
SCPs.
playing an extremely high-stakes game of whack-a-mole. You never really know when the next existential threat is going to pop up. And perhaps the one that finally ends it all is closer than you think. Now go check.
That was a good one. That was a good one. They talked about a bunch of SCPs in this video, which I really, really liked. I definitely want to check out the other 2, like the anti-meme and the other one that I guess we don't really know that much about. Yeah, I want to check out that one, the London one, and Bigfoot. I'm getting around to that. So, yeah, those are ones that are really intriguing. But it's cool to see there's contingency plans if something bad like this happens. But yeah, well, this was a great explained video. It made sense. I didn't know there was different classes of end of the world scenarios, but yo, I wish it would have delved a little bit deeper of the other classes. However, like the one with like the gray goo or whatever that goes on everything, like that was like kind of like a random one to me, but it was interesting to say the least. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this reaction, please remember to smash that like button. Also smash the sub button if you're not already part of the family. If you made it this far, don't know why you're not part of it. Quit being by yourself, join the family, have a blast with us, and also remember, turn on post notifications so you do not miss an upload. So with all out the way, unfortunately, that concludes today's episode. However, I'll catch you guys on the next one.